Get all the information you need on Hurricane Isabel from WAVY.com.
We have nothing. No home, no nothing. No furniture, no nothing. Everything's just gone.
Her apartment actually washed into mine.
They've been here for a long time and stood up to a lot of winds, but they weren't able to stand up to Isabel.
Does Dominion have a clear handle on this problem?
Well, it's just absolutely devastating.
It's just that it really hadn't set in yet. We just don't know what we're going to do.
Welcome back to this special 3-hour presentation of Hurricane Isabel, Help, Hope, and Healing.
Well, the morning after the storm, you couldn't even look down one street, around one corner without finding some damage. And of course, since we couldn't fly Chopper 10 and all the high winds, we couldn't see the devastation Isabel left behind until first light Friday morning. Chopper 10 set out at first light, or first dark, depending on whether or not you had power. Pilot John Massey swung over to the Willoughby area of Norfolk to see what had happened, and the view was enough to give anyone a sinking feeling. The boats took a beating. Some were docked, literally. And the cars, well, may have been better off as boats.
The Harrison Pier that used to be there is completely gone. That's been spread out all the way down along the Willoughby Spit.
And the homes along the water's edge didn't fare much better. Worst part, that was only the beginning. Fort Monroe, flooded. Any cars left on the street, gone. Trees uprooted.
Now we've got damage just about everywhere we look, but mainly it appears to be people that were on the water or faced the water or faced to the east really took the brunt of Hurricane Isabel yesterday.
Over to Virginia Beach, homeowners just starting to assess the damage. Isabel was not welcomed at all at the Ramada Inn, but it appears that didn't matter. And a lot of beach erosion visible from Chopper 10, perhaps a few years' worth in just a few hours. All that money spent on sand replenishment washed away.
The Lynn Haven Fishing Pier took a major hit. Probably half of that's going to be unusable. Probably the last 1/3 of that's completely gone.
Where there used to be yards, there's now sand. Where there used to be sand, there's now water. Where there were walls, there's now rubble. At the Entellus Pavilion in Portsmouth, there's a show all right, but it's not music to the city's ears. And at the Hampton Roads Airport, there are planes tossed around like toys, but it won't be fun picking up the pieces.
Look at the damage here. This is a lot of privately owned airplanes. These are called T-hangars. You can see just how the wind just totally destroyed the T-hangars. They've been here for a long time and stood up to a lot of winds, but they weren't able to stand up to Isabel.
This Chesapeake convenience store off Battlefield Boulevard isn't so convenient to get to anymore. And getting from Chesapeake to the Outer Banks, you're better off in Chopper 10. That was the next stop. And what we found in Kitty Hawk, some no longer had a roof over their heads. Some only had a roof. And look at the flooding, only a preview of what we would find further inland in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
When those winds came in from the east and southeast, it actually just pushed all that water right back up on top of Elizabeth City.
Water everywhere. And flooding wasn't the only thing we saw there. This old World War II blimp hangar stood up for years, but one night with Hurricane Isabel left substantial damage. The roof of this Bible College dormitory was destroyed. The roof of this building, now part of the roof next door. And talk about tree damage. You couldn't even count the number of trees on this house.
As we come around on the east side of this building, you see that the tin roof was actually ripped off of that, but it not only ripped it off, it tore it into shreds, and as it took it across the highway and into that area, that farmer's field, you can see the impact marks from that metal roof as it bounced across that field.
This message in this field, however, was man-made. And now we're back in Virginia, where the city of Franklin fared a whole lot better than in Hurricane Floyd 4 years ago. That's because this time it was places like Grandview and Hampton that took the brunt of the storm. The closer to the water, the worse it was. This boathouse in Gloucester Point didn't stand much of a chance.
For hundreds of square miles, we see exactly the same thing everywhere we go. There's trees, roads washed out, seawalls totally destroyed, just massive amounts of damage done.
And we weren't even done yet. Well, Chopper 10 couldn't fly over Hatteras due to airspace restrictions, but wait until you see what we found over parts of Isle of Wight and Surrey counties. That's still to come.
Since the storm, Governor Warner has been visiting the hardest hit areas of Virginia, not only to help distribute ice and food, but to listen to the concerns of his constituents. A couple of days ago, exactly 1 week after Isabel hit, I had the opportunity to talk with the governor via satellite about storm-related issues that concern us here in Hampton Roads. As you know, a major headache for us in the Hampton Roads area is the Midtown Tunnel and the flooding that occurred there. As you know, the flood barrier was not lowered, and a lot of people have asked why not. VDOT's response thus far has been pretty much, oops, sorry. And a lot of people think that's not good enough. Is that good enough for you?
Well, I think we're going to need to find out what went wrong with the Midtown Tunnel. Now, I do know that the VDOT workers that went in there put their lives at jeopardy in terms of trying to get that plate off. The question of should they have had that plate removed a little bit earlier, should they have had other circumstances put in place? Yes, we need to get the answers to that. But when the waters were coming, I do know that the VDOT workers, I've talked to a number of them, they stayed much longer than was safe to try to make sure to get the job done. In the end, they didn't get the job done, and I know folks in Hampton Roads are going to have to deal now with a couple weeks of that tunnel being closed. But I think it'll take us a little more time to figure out what procedures should be changed there.
Well, VDOT has admitted that they did not test it in the days leading up to the storm. The city of Norfolk tested its flood wall, so clearly we know that VDOT did not follow its procedures, right?
Well, we know that the earlier reports that the commissioner said was that this was a case of nature winning, not a case of human error. In light of the fact that the removal was not tested beforehand, I want to hear a fuller explanation.
One other thing about the Midtown Tunnel I wanted to ask, because
Sure.
There was a contractor that did about $1.5 million worth of hurricane preparedness work last winter. So I guess the question is, that's an awful lot of money to spend for something not to work. Was that money wasted?
Again, in terms of the Midtown Tunnel, I don't know the specifics of what that contractor did. I do know that the Commissioner Chouquette has promised me a full report on the Midtown Tunnel, but the first thing let's do is let's get the Midtown Tunnel pumped out, let's get it back in operation, let's make sure that there's no damage to the electrical wiring, and we'll get to the answers, but our first priority is getting the Midtown Tunnel reopened so commuters in Hampton Roads can go back to using that vital artery.
Well, as you know, a lot of people will be interested in what that report says. Will you make it public?
You and me both. Let me assure you that report will be made public.
I know you've heard an awful lot of complaints from people about their power and when am I going to get my power back on. The folks at Dominion Virginia Power have confused us a little bit. They've been saying all week, well, on Thursday we'll let you know, and then this morning they told us, well, that's just for the Richmond area. We're not sure about Hampton Roads. Does Dominion have a clear handle on this problem?
Well, Dominion put twice as many people on the ground in advance of the storm, and now they're up to 11,000 plus. They said they can't even handle any more linemen, but my hope is that Dominion will at least let neighborhoods know when they're going to get their power back. Even if it's bad news, even if it's not until middle of next week, I think folks would rather know than living to this day-to-day, am I going to get it back today, tomorrow, whenever.
I think that the principal complaint that we have heard is that the state and FEMA are not communicating as closely as some folks would like. For instance, City of Newport News immediately asked for generators, passed that request on to the state, and FEMA says, well, we're just responding to whatever the state asks us. Who's dropping the ball?
Well, I got to tell you, having been over at the Emergency Operations Center a number of times, you've got a FEMA person and a state person sitting right next to each other. This is not a case where you've got the state in one area and the FEMA in the other. They are literally, in some places, cheek to cheek. So saying that that information is not being communicated, I don't understand that, because again, there are FEMA officials on the calls, the twice daily calls that the state makes to all the local governments for some of these, try to meet some of these requests. I know in the case of Newport News earlier in the week, I personally intervened to try to make sure that the community got some ice, and the mayor, I think, was grateful for that. But I also think that there's probably been some lack of clarity from the localities, that sometimes the localities say, hey, we need generators, or hey, we need ice, or hey, we need water, without any definition of where those assets need to be deployed. Or in certain cases in generators, I know there was an issue that they said they need generators, but without any kind of specificity of what type of generators. Again, at the end of the day, there's going to be plenty of time for postmortem. What we need to do right now is fix the problems as they come up, make sure the power is returned, the generators are deployed, that ice and food, as we continue to find a number of communities. We've got 7,000 homes where people are put out of their homes. Those folks in certain cases are running out of food. Again, the Red Cross and others have been great, but that food issue still continues to be an issue.
Here's what's coming up on Hurricane Isabel: health, hope, and healing.
It's a sad thing, but Mother Nature's hard to deal with.
That's the restaurant here. I mean, it's a complete gone.
Just heartbreaking. You think it's going to be there forever.
At some point, it may become necessary for us to leave this building.
They're looking through a milk jug. Actually, I think they're videotaping.
I saw some of the most bizarre things floating by I've ever seen in my life. I was actually up on my deck most of the time because we were behind the wind. I saw whole decks floating by. I saw a couple boats, and 2 of them are still down there that floated by. All kinds of wheelbarrows, trash cans, big parts of houses. It was just incredible.
What makes ABNB Federal Credit Union better than a bank? Simple. Our members are our owners. Decisions are made locally, and because our resources stay here, our members enjoy low rates on auto and home loans and high returns on savings instruments. Best of all, ABNB has it all. Convenient locations, ATMs, financial counseling, and more. Who can join ABNB? Probably you. Call or stop by today and discover why ABNB Federal Credit Union is truly better than a bank.
Introducing the 2004 Chevy Silverado, now available with Power Packs. Get this Silverado extended cab with the light-duty Power Pack, Vortec V8 heavy-duty trailering, plus the Safe and Sound Power Pack, bucket seats, Bose sound system, and more. Combine Power Pack savings with cash back for a total value of $4,000 on select models. And it's powerful stuff. Silverado, now available with Power Packs. See your local Chevy dealer.
This is the most powerful offer ever made on new carpet. This weekend at Haynes, 3 complete rooms of brand name carpet, $275. 3 rooms of Berber, 3 rooms of plush, 3 rooms of Saxony, only $275. Even better, Haynes does the measuring free, the padding free, and professionally installs all 3 rooms free. So much carpet, so little money. 3 rooms of carpet, $275. Everything else is free. This weekend, only at Haynes.
Get ready to shop happy at a store where big sales on your favorite brands is just the beginning. You'll also find stroller carts for bundles and babies. Your size and style always in stock. Easy checkouts and returns with a smile. Introducing Kohl's, a better way to shop with big brands, great sales, and easy shopping at every turn. Kohl's. Shop happy, leave happy. Grand opening October 10th.
Hi, I'm Charles Barker, and I've got a special message for all public service personnel living in Virginia, North Carolina, and Maryland. Because of what you've done and what you continue to do to restore our community, you and your family members can buy a new Toyota car or truck at our invoice price. Plus, we've teamed up with Toyota to get you up to $1,500 cash back and a special selection of used cars, all priced at wholesale. We just want to say thanks and show our appreciation for a job well done. So stop by Charles Barker Toyota, Alaskan Road, Virginia Beach, before October 1st.
I think Isabel fooled a lot of people, a whole lot of people. Nobody expected that storm to be that severe when it got to this point in Virginia. I mean, had no clue.
Just in Hampton Roads, the damage estimate for Hurricane Isabel has topped $1 billion.
And Chief Meteorologist Don Slater is here now to explain why places like Surry County, Isle of Wight, and Poquoson were just so devastated.
By around the noon hour of that day, it became readily apparent that the strong easterly winds funneling in out of the Chesapeake Bay were creating wind and storm surge, especially for those areas near the mouth of the bay, and those areas blunted against that storm surge and wind. And while I tended to highlight lots of areas, I really tended to highlight the bayfront areas from Buckroe Beach to Poquoson and then northward into York County. Those concerns became all too apparent, obviously, in the Poquoson area as that storm surge swept inland. By the dinner hour, the winds were beginning to become more southeasterly, lessening the threat for the Hampton Roads cities. But that southeasterly wind presented a very new and dangerous threat as it pushed the storm surge up the Rappahannock, the York, and the James Rivers.
It was once a beautiful waterfront property area where a lot of people like to have fun and enjoy a good time. However, after Hurricane Isabel, this is what's left. The destruction is indescribable.
We felt like there would be water damage, perhaps, you know, inside. They'd have to come back and clean up, maybe replace the carpet even or something, but these places had stood storm after storm. When we bought in '99, Floyd came through 3 months afterwards and uprooted a tree right that tore up a part of our place, and that's when we decided to just redo it all. But never, and all the people that have lived down here and been down here 30-some years, it's never been anything even near to this.
Hundreds of residents at Sunken Meadow Beach, homeless after Hurricane Isabel ripped away everything they owned.
This place has been here since the 1930s. I used to come here when I was little, and I'm 51 years old now. We lived here full time. You know, we loved it. We bought it for a place where we could have when we retired. And we have nothing. No home, no nothing. No furniture, no nothing. Everything's just gone.
Wanda Morris, one of 13 year-round cottage and trailer homeowners, left with just the clothes on her back, looking through a lifetime of memories, gone in an instant.
I just feel like I'm in a nightmare. I'm having a nightmare, you know. Am I going to wake up? It's going to be over with or what? But I know it's not. It's reality.
Never ever dreamed anything like this would happen, you know. Used to go there as a kid, you know, and just a vacation place, all gone.
FEMA and insurance agents on hand for those lucky enough to be insured. Wanda Morris is not. So like this tattered American flag, she's left twisting in the wind.
It's a sad thing, but Mother Nature's hard to deal with. So.
I just can't face it when it's true, you know, and feel like it's dreaming.
Where do you begin when your home, your job, your livelihood is gone?
I don't know where to start or where I don't have any clue.
Chong Glasscock lived along the water in Burles Bay. She rented 6 cabins and ran a restaurant.
That's the restaurant here. I mean, it's completely gone.
Gone, too, is her home and 3 rental cabins. The remaining 3 are barely standing.
Her apartment actually washed into mine.
John McDaniel rented from Glasscock. He lost everything.
I'm waiting for him to clear so I can get in there and get my shoes. I hope. I'd like to get a pair of shoes. It's the only pair I got.
He has no insurance. Glasscock still doesn't know how much her policy will cover. Her agent says he'll be out next week. As for federal or state help, she came to Smithfield and asked the governor.
I don't know the answer. We'll get you that answer, one way or the other. I don't know the answer yet. I'll find out.
But when will he find out? Glasscock needs help now. She still has a mortgage to pay, and she's getting more depressed every day.
As long as I'm around the people, I'm okay. And I'm by myself, that's when it's terrible.
In Isle of Wight County, Stephanie Harris, WAVY News 10.
All right, again, another important part of what we're doing here is also to raise money for folks hit awfully hard by Isabel.
And Carolyn Castleberry is in our Fox 43 studio right now with some guests. Carolyn?
Absolutely, and some really great news. So far, we have raised $59,145. It's all part of our 10 on Your Side philosophy, raising money for the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. Another organization stepping up to help rebuild our community is SunTrust, and Joanne Chapman with the organization joins us. She is the Senior Vice President of SunTrust. Thank you so much for being here. I understand you have a very, very generous gift.
Yes, I do. On behalf of Bill Butler, President of SunTrust in Hampton Roads, I would like to present to the American Red Cross this donation in the amount of $50,000 to be used for the Hurricane Isabel disaster relief program.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
$50,000. And you were telling me the stories about how all of you really got personally involved. Tell me just a couple of those stories.
Sure. We put our clients first at SunTrust, and several days after the disaster and during the disaster, we actually went out to visit our elderly clients.
Personally?
Personally.
You went out and visited them?
We went out and visited them. Some of them we couldn't get to their homes because of the downed trees and power lines, and so we parked our cars and walked. And a lot of the elderly people were scared, and they were without power, without food, and I think just us being there meant a lot to them, and the whole SunTrust did that, and I think that is a great thing that we were able to do for them.
Absolutely. You had at least one employee who was devastated through this, and you individually collected money as well, right?
Exactly. He lost everything, his home, everything in it. He and his son are now living in a motel, and so we individually at SunTrust took up a donation to help him get back on his feet.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Very, very nice to meet you.
It's our pleasure.
And your generous gift. We
Thank
appreciate it.
you so much.
And we'll be back with another check on our total in just a moment.
The scene yesterday around 3 o'clock, it looked like the James River came through here. It was raging really bad. River, we were having 20-foot telephone poles coming through. So it was really, never seen anything like it.
Okay. She said goodbye, but you just won't let her leave. Share, this is it, the final farewell performance. October 15th at Norfolk Scope, the concert extravaganza of the year is back, Share, with a very special guest. Reserve seats are on sale now. A CCE event by overwhelming demand. Share, this is it.
Hey, Bob. Long time no see. Hey, Karen.
If you haven't had an Arby's roast beef sandwich lately,
How are you?
you don't know how exciting roast beef can be.
George!
That's why everyone's coming in for Arby's new Philly Beef Supreme.
Hey! What's wrong with you?
Never do that again. Oven roasted beef, big eye Swiss, and fire roasted vegetables on a soft baguette. Try Arby's exciting new Philly Beef Supreme.
What are you eating today?
The course is free. The skills are priceless. For information about our free 12-week income tax course, call Jackson Hewitt, WAVY-TV's expert on your side.
Recently, Hall Nissan introduced a new ad campaign. This is it. Hall Nissan, where it's all about price. Now, here are the number of customers who came to Hall Nissan since we began airing our new commercials. And this is the number of customers who didn't like our prices. 0, zip, none, nada. Everybody seemed to like our prices. So either Hall Nissan's prices are that good, or the other area dealers aren't even trying.
Hall Nissan, where it's all about price.
When we were starting out,
we turned to Grand to furnish our first apartment.
12 years and 2 homes later,
We found our way back to Grand.
and were we surprised? There's more selection, more of the latest styles, and more quality brand name furniture.
All at down-to-earth prices. And Grand still offers the same flexible financing that made us customers to start with.
We're glad we rediscovered just how truly grand our home could be.
Real furniture for
Here's a look at Super Doppler 10. We want to key in on some of these areas.
Okay, honey, it's just a thunderstorm. It'll be over soon. It's going right over.
Show you exactly where it is, just south of the Princess Anne Road area, and it's expected to move eastward. As it moves eastward, conditions should improve through the area.
Reassurance when you need it. Super Doppler 10.
Well, I take life as it comes. No need of crying over it. There's nothing I can do about it. There was nothing I could do about it before it happened. There's nothing I can do about it now except bend to and get it cleaned up. I know they'll condemn this place tomorrow.
Well, yes, that's the Outer Banks attitude. No need crying over it.
That was Carol Dillon, who owns the Outer Banks Motel, heavily damaged by Isabel. Dillon and thousands of others helplessly watched as Isabel rolled in and took what she wanted. Reporter Andy Fox and photographer Rob Rizzo watched the storm from Hatteras Island.
And here's their eyewitness account.
Isabel's storm surge Thursday morning made it real clear, real quick, Hatteras Village would never be the same. How could Highway 12 into the village withstand Isabel's bombardment hour after excruciating hour? Well, she couldn't. Isabel came, saw, and conquered, and cut out a new half-mile inlet. This is the middle of the breach or the inlet or whatever you want to call it. It's about a quarter mile across and it's 28 feet deep. And I'll tell you, it's going to take a lot of money and it's going to take a lot of time to fix. But nothing prepares you for what's at the end of the broken road. There you'll find the broken village of Hatteras. This was the Sandbar Grill. The owner, Jane Metacardo, spent so much time and money making it a special place. Now it's gone. What do you think? You built this new addition. We were in here. Your enthusiasm for the place. What do you do?
Hope to rebuild. I mean, it's all we can hope for. All of us. I mean, there's, you know, they're calling this ground zero, and it is. All we can do is try and get everybody's homes, get everybody housing, and I mean, I still feel like the restaurant's secondary compared to all the people that lost their home.
Homes like this one, the residents here held on for dear life in an oak tree as they watched their homes swept away by Isabel's unforgiving force. Want to see the power of Hurricane Isabel? This was a motel here on Hatteras. It's not a motel anymore, and the people on this island are really hurting.
I just think we don't know what to do anymore. I mean, we just all got to come together and help each other out to get through it, but it's just, it really hadn't set in yet. We just don't know what we're going to do.
Marcy Oden got through it at the Seagull Motel, scurrying up this ladder to the attic to escape Isabel's rising tide. Her father would rescue her.
And just let everybody know we're all right, and we're doing the best we can to do what we can.
Back across the new inlet, north to Frisco, Carol Dillon watched her Outer Banks Motel get swamped. After, well, nothing but flooded memories.
Well, it's just absolutely devastating. You know, I don't know if I'll get back in business this year or not. So I'll just do the best I can.
Dillon's swimming pool will be dug out by hand. And next door at the Cape Hatteras Motel, Isabel didn't knock, she just tore down the door. We end with Marvin Buck.
This particular cable has got to go about 2,900 feet to the other side of the new inlet.
He's with Bass Knight Construction, helping put in new fresh water pipes to Hatteras Village. Buck's a former commercial fisherman. He knows Hatteras Island.
For North Carolina, Isabel was, in my opinion, on a scale of 1 to 10, about a 5.
Buck calls Isabel's wrath a 5 out of a possible 10. Are we fighting a losing battle against Mother Nature?
Of course. We always do. These reefs, or these islands, are migrating. They're migrating toward the west. And any geologist will tell you that you're not going to stop that migration process. I don't care how much you bulkhead it.
Buck says just wait for a 1954 Hazel-type hurricane, 150-mile-per-hour winds. Remember, Isabel, just 105. That happens, Hatteras Island may be gone for good. On Hatteras Island with photographer Rob Rizzo, Andy Fox, WAVY News 10.
I'm Lowell Melser in Kill Devil Hills, where from Kitty Hawk to Nag's Head, the damage parallels some of what we just saw in Hatteras. As bulldozers clear Highway 12 around mile marker 6, beachfront pools are seen smashed on the sand. Beachfront hotels and condominiums have extensive damage to their first and second floors. Stairs once joining homes to the beach lead to nowhere. The damage is almost breathtaking.
And it looks like they just came along with a cake slicer and just cut it and pulled it away.
Sydney Jessup had a huge gazebo that overlooks the ocean in back of her home. Now it's on her front porch.
Wait till you see in here. We shorted it up yesterday, but look at this.
Whoa! Look at this.
This is the gazebo.
Wow.
This is the gazebo that was out there.
The rest of it strewn through the neighboring beach, along with infinite amounts of debris from other decks and homes. Another area hard hit, the Nags Head Fishing Pier and Restaurant.
We lost all this concrete right here. The storm surge came up underneath the pier house, the restaurant. This is the roof to the restaurant, and that's part of the roof over there.
Hurricane Isabel ruined most of the restaurant, including this area in the back, which overlooked the ocean, a local and tourists' favorite. The parking lot is littered with debris, mostly restaurant equipment and spoiled food. By mid-afternoon, National Guard helicopters are surveying the oceanfront, especially here in Kitty Hawk. This stretch of Highway 12 at mile marker 3, devastated.
It's a shame what's happened to this road as I make my way through down power lines. Just back there was a washing machine in the middle of the road, just debris strewn everywhere across Highway 12 here, what was Highway 12. This is expected to be an astronomical project, not only lifting the sand out of here, but then they have to repave the road once again, and you can see just how destroyed it is. It's definitely impassable. It'll be a big project for those not only here in the community, but for road crews as well.
And then there are the homes along Highway 12, most damaged, some even washed out. Mother Nature also leaving a few surprises behind.
But if you come around, oh, look at the turtle.
Look at that turtle.
Woo! Okay.
Turtle I've ever seen.
Me too, right under my step.
When it came to hotels, the Sea Ranch 2 and Kill Devil Hills took the cake. In fact, we visited it during the storm, but look at it now.
Completely washed out, and that's no exaggeration. This is where I was standing, right here. You can still see some of the concrete slabs that are poking out of the sand.
And this is what it looks like from the inside. 2 businesses lost, a health club and a gym.
I don't think any of us were expecting this. I mean, this is devastating.
It's probably safe to say no one really knew how bad it was truly going to be. But throughout the Outer Banks, as the mess is cleaned up and lives are restored, one door closes and another opens.
The people around there are so wonderful. You know, they all pitch in and, you know, we'll get back on our feet.
In Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, with photographer Aaron Kurtz, I'm Lowell Melser, WAVY News 10.
You're out of water, obviously, so what are you doing? You're stocking up for how long?
Yes, this will probably go flushing for 2 days, so we won't be too long without it, hopefully.
What's all this for?
Just flushing and some drinking.
Yeah.
Mostly flushing. We're going to try and walk to Atlantic Avenue if we can. Photographer Jeff Myers and I.
This is in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina.
This is Highway 12 to Hatteras Village. It's washed out. These guys tried to make it. They had to turn around.
We've seen lots of trees crashed into homes. Live from the oceanfront, I'm Patty Colhane, WAVY News 10.
The Pontiac Grand Am SE Solid Value is equipped with Performance Shift Automatic, CD player, aluminum wheels, power windows, locks, mirrors, and more. Now get $3,000 total cash back on a new 2004 Grand Am SE Solid Value. Active military personnel get an extra $750 allowance. See your Hampton Roads, Carolina Pontiac dealers.
Makeup just doesn't seem to cover the wrinkles the way it used to. My figure just isn't the same since I had my kids.
Hey, baby, do these jeans make me look fat?
Men just don't have these problems. I, on the other hand, understand how you feel because I'm a woman and a mother of 3. I'm also a plastic surgeon, which means I can help you feel better about yourself.
A surgeon's skill, a woman's touch. Call Dr. Lopes, WAVY-TV's plastic surgery expert on your side to schedule your consultation.
Everyone deserves stylish furniture.
Furniture that helps make their home more comfortable. Furniture that makes their home more livable. Haverty's low price guarantee means you don't have to pay more for fine home furnishings and take advantage of no payments and no interest for 1 year. Haverty's makes it home. For Fords, too.
Starting with me, everything in this place is mean and miserable.
Is that a tear in your eye, Private? Do you want your mommy? Are you going to cry?
I'll kick the tradition and chivalry out of you.
I suggest you shut your mouth.
I can't hear you!
Nothing is over until we decide it is.
Just one more thing. Don't ever make me mad.
Sweet dreams, ladies! Straight left, right, left, ha!
Oh, well, I live right the fourth house down. I just went back to check on it, but it's underwater. The whole neighborhood's underwater.
When Hurricane Isabel swept through, she took buildings and piers with her, including an ocean view landmark.
This is what Harrison's Fishing Pier looked like from Chopper 10 on September 17th. The very next day, it would be gone for good. As WAVY News 10's chief photojournalist Jeff Myers found, several people came back to reflect.
Well, I've been here for over 26 years in this area, and I used to go to Harrison Fishing Pier a lot. It was a beautiful place just to sit, to fish, even meet people. It's really sad looking at this today.
We heard on the radio that the pier was gone. We couldn't believe it, living across the street.
Just heartbreaking. You think it's going to be there forever.
I just found this wood along the beach. It's like wood from Harrison's Fishing Pier.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to try to frame it.
Did you ever go fishing on the Harrison Fishing Pier?
Yeah, with my dad,
Did you?
3 times.
What goes through your mind today when you look out there and see it's gone?
I just know I'm going to miss it because I like fishing on it.
Yeah, it seems like a funeral because a lot of people are here and they love this place. And it just seems like people are mourning it. Yeah, I hope they rebuild it. I hope they do.
All my friends and I, we used to come here to Harrison's Fishing Pier to go fishing and just romp around the sand, and it's just getting washed away and we feel terrible about it, so we're trying to get a lot of pictures.
Any way you want it, the way you need it, any way you want it.
Time is running out to get incredible deals during the 2003 Ford Authorized Clearance. Like 0% for 6 full years. Or choose up to $6,250 cash back on Explorer and Expedition. Plus, current Explorer owners get an additional $1,000. That's up to $7,250 cash back on Explorer. But hurry, the 2003 Ford Authorized Clearance ends September 30th.
We took to the streets to find out how much people really know about Langley Federal Credit Union. Can you tell me what kind of person belongs to Langley FCU?
Colonel, Major...
Astronauts.
5-star General, 4-star General, 3-star General.
CIA.
What do you have to do to join?
Donate an organ.
Split the atom.
Go to school for a very long time.
Actually, joining LFCU is easier than you think. We're here for the military and much, much more. Call today.
Disney on Ice presents Disney Pixar's Monsters, Inc. It's a tale of monstrous proportions. It's the height of humor. It's fall down funny. It's a monster hit.
Tickets only $12 to opening night, Wednesday, October 1st, 7 p.m. performance of Disney Pixar's Monsters, Inc., courtesy of WAVY-TV 10 and the Daily Press.
Disney on Ice presents Disney Pixar's Monsters, Inc. You won't believe your eyes, so hurry and scare up your tickets today.
Playing the Hampton Coliseum October 1st through 5th.
I've been in this business over 26 years, and I've seen a lot of carpet stores come and go. Here at Eastern Floor Covering, we're proud to be your flooring professionals. In fact, a recent survey rates us 98% in total customer satisfaction. Whatever your needs, carpet, vinyl, ceramic tile, hardwood, or laminate, we do it all and we do it right. I invite you to visit our Denby showroom today.
Eastern Floor Covering, Denby Boulevard between Warwick and Jefferson in Newport News. Why shop anywhere else?
Lend a hand and help fight hunger with the Helping Hands Girl Scout Food Drive. Over 1,000 Hampton Roads Girl Scout troops are collecting non-perishable food for area food banks. Look in this Sunday's Daily Press or Virginian Pilot for a collection bag. Fill the bag with non-perishable food. Then on Saturday, October the 11th, place the bag on your doorstep before 9 a.m. The Girl Scouts will do the rest. Join WAVY-TV, Farm Fresh, and these sponsors to help drive out hunger in Hampton Roads with the Helping Hands Girl Scout Food Drive.
What's that?
Are you concerned?
Yeah, I'm concerned. I live in Buckrow, and I believe there's going to be a lot of flooding down in the area with the high tide.
Have you seen anything like this?
This reminds me of Hurricane Donna back when I was a little boy. Bound to be some trees blowing down.
And as you can see, the community is definitely stepping up to the plate to help those hurt by Isabel. Our total now stands at $112,000, $295. As you know, 10 on Your Side is raising money for the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. Another organization here to help is Household International. Several representatives joining us tonight. We have David Grimmy, Terry Pierce, Jim Normandy, and Andy Johnston with a very generous check.
Thank you. Good afternoon. On behalf of the approximate 2,000 employees in Hampton Roads of Household International, we're very pleased to present the American Red Cross with a check for $100,000 to assist in this disaster relief fund.
$100,000 for us.
You're welcome.
That is very, very generous indeed. What caused you to step up to the plate to this level?
Well, just like the community, many of the employees of Hampton Roads are deeply affected by what happened, and our organization believes that we should help out those in the community, and it was actually very easy to do. We made a couple phone calls to some people, and they all wanted to help out.
In fact, all of your employees were affected. Some
Absolutely.
more than others,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, we had some that were severely affected, you know, trees on their homes, cars, houses flooded, and so forth. And they're going through quite a bit, like many of the people in the community are right now. We are members as well. And the organization just stepped up, and I'm very, very proud to be a part of it right now.
Well, we're proud of you. Tell us a little bit about Household International for those who don't know, your philosophy.
Well, Household is a major provider of financial services, mortgage loans, credit cards, consumer loans. And our philosophy from a philanthropic standpoint is that we'd like to help out the communities which we operate in, which is virtually all across the country.
Absolutely.
And we believe that this donation will not only help the people in Hampton Roads, but it's going to the National Disaster Relief Fund as well. And it'll help those that were affected in other areas as well.
Fantastic. $100,000 from Household International. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of 10 on Your Side, the American Red Cross, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with another check on the total in a moment.
We've got some heavy thunderstorms now moving on into the region. Moving to the north-northwest and likely to hit camps.
Warning you of severe weather before it happens. Super Doppler 10.
Do you know why leaf guard gutters are guaranteed to never clog? Log on to WAVY.com and ask Starling Guttering, WAVY-TV's gutter expert, on your side.
This is it, your last chance. Now during the September clearance at your Chrysler dealer. One last chance to get a 2003 Chrysler at great savings, like nothing down, no payments for 6 months, and no interest financing. Or choose up to $4,250 in cash allowances, which includes an extra $750 for military personnel. Plus, get our transferable 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. This could be your last chance to zero in on these savings. So let us prove we've got the best values in America. See your Chrysler dealer today.
Oh. Yeah.
Do me a favor, can you?
Wow.
Men.
At McDonald's, we've got what guys want. Like our delicious McPhilly cheesesteak sandwich with a big ol' icy cold Coke and big ol' fries. McPhilly cheesesteak extra value meal. Come on, guys, smile.
Get ready to shop happy at a store where big sales on your favorite brands is just the beginning. You'll also find stroller carts for bundles and babies. Your size and style always in stock. Easy checkouts and returns with a smile. Introducing Kohl's, a better way to shop. with big brands, great sales, and easy shopping at every turn. Kohl's. Shop happy, leave happy. Grand opening October 10th.
It's my responsibility to get the children to school safely. When I get to a highway railroad intersection, I stop. Then I look, listen, and live.
At Priority Toyota and Priority Chevrolet, we're getting dressed up to celebrate the newest member of the Priority family. Priority Acura. Buy a Priority Acura and get everything you'd expect. Great service, Priority Plus, factory maintenance and service for 2 years or 24,000 miles, no charge, and exclusives like free manicures every Wednesday. And get some things you didn't expect too. Priority Toyota, Chevrolet, and now Priority Acura. We put you first.
The rising of the water was a lot faster than we ever anticipated. And at that time, there were still people traveling through the tunnel.
One of the longest lasting effects of Hurricane Isabel will be traffic headaches.
Well, the Midtown Tunnel flooded with 66 million gallons of water and river water. Well, it could take weeks or even months to open that crucial connection between Portsmouth and Norfolk. The tunnel does have a floodgate, so WAVY News 10's Patty Colhane shows us what went wrong.
Trying to get answers? Well, it's been a game of duck, or goose when it comes to VDOT these days, but not anymore. Think the man in charge of the tunnel feels responsible? Just take a look.
I feel kind of bad about this, huh? You look like you feel really bad.
This mess nearly brings Bruce Wilkerson to tears. This happened on his watch.
It had never been closed before. It had always been open. I think that might have went through my mind. But no, I do some things contrary to policy. I second guess. I wish I'd have shut it down the day before.
But he didn't. The day of the storm, he thought about closing the foot-thick steel floodgate at 9 that morning, but he decided to wait. 4 hours later, the alarm went off. It should have given workers 2 hours. The water rushed in 20 minutes later. The door couldn't shut because this latch was covered by a metal plate.
The plate is held by 4 bolts, typically. You see the 4 holes right here. However, with traffic going back and forth, the bolts have a tendency to unlock.
He says because of that, the plate was welded on.
It's designed not to be welded, I would say that, but the plate won't stay in.
Dave Kurdick was the one who tried to close the gate.
Just a sudden rise of the water, a lot quicker than we anticipated.
As the water started to fill the tube, workers rushed in to help, a frantic, desperate last-ditch effort to save the tunnel.
And as I stepped out of the truck, I was swept down the river down about 30, 40 feet, and I was able to grab onto some grading and pull myself out.
For their efforts, even the president has called these men heroes. But should it have come to that? Should the tunnel have been closed sooner? Workers couldn't get it unstuck in time. Should they have done that before the storm hit?
We could have. We could have.
In fact, as the days pass and the water eventually recedes, could-haves and should-haves, well, that's all this man says he thinks about.
As the manager and with some experience, what could I have done to have covered everything possible? After the fact, it's a bad time. But I do it as we talk here. I did it when I walked down at night. 38 years, and now I just can't get past it.
VDOT bosses still insist that human error was not a factor, and they're not saying exactly when this tunnel will reopen. They're hoping it's going to be weeks and not months, but again, they won't put a day on it, and they can't tell us how much all this cleanup is going to cost. In Norfolk, Patty Colhane, WAVY News 10.
Disney on Ice presents Disney Pixar's Monsters, Inc. It's a tale of monstrous proportions. It's the height of humor. It's fall-down funny. It's a monster hit. Join Sully and Mike as their monsterific mayhem generates megawatt laughter to power Monstropolis and have your family screaming for more. Disney on Ice presents Disney Pixar's Monsters, Inc. You won't believe your eyes, so hurry and scare up your tickets today.
Playing the Hampton Coliseum October 1st through 5th.
A word of advice to everyone who waited for year-end Toyota clearance savings. Now,
because Toyota time savings end in just 4 days. Go now, while there's still time for final clearance savings on thousands of Toyotas, Camry sedans, full-size Tundras, tough Tacomas, gas thrifty RAV4s. There's up to $1,500 cash back from Toyota or low APR financing. Every Toyota is year-end clearance price to sell now, but it ends in just 4 days. Don't wait.
Hi, I'm George Neskis with Pete Decker and his partners. We practice in almost every area of the law, but Larry Carden, Rick Ratajak, and I are usually in criminal and traffic court, defending ordinary people who have found themselves in unexpected situations.
If you need a lawyer for a traffic, criminal, or personal injury matter, let our team of lawyers put their experience to work for you. Call George Neskis, Pete Decker, or any of their partners at 624-5888.
The most important thing about our law practice is helping people.
This is the most powerful offer ever made on new carpet. This weekend at Haynes, 3 complete rooms of brand name carpet, $275. 3 rooms of Berber, 3 rooms of plush, 3 rooms of Saxony, only $275. Even better, Haynes does the measuring free, the padding free, and professionally installs all 3 rooms free. So much carpet, so little money. 3 rooms of carpet, $275. Everything else is free. This weekend, only at Haynes.
We want our customers to come back. We want them to be customers for life.
We've had customers buy vehicles and move out of state and actually come back and or call or send their relatives. I mean, make the drive to a Freedom dealership. We've actually had a customer in Pennsylvania come back to us for body shop service.
We're committed to providing unequaled excellence in automotive service, resulting in completely satisfied lifetime Freedom Automotive customers.
Lifetime Freedom Automotive customers.
Lifetime Freedom Automotive customers.
Anybody you talk to in the dealership can recite that for you. They know it. We live by it.
We had to win, but it was all right in our area. 2 trees broke down, but not in our area. I mean, not where I live at, but it was all right. Like I said, with the bad luck, somebody got drunk and run the telegram pole and no electricity now. That's the bad part about it. Then that's bad luck.
Okay, yeah, I like to catch it.
Well, while everyone was worried about their homes making it through the storm, we here in the WAVY studios were worried about our home away from home. Yep, the studio.
For a while, we didn't know if Isabel would run us right out of Portsmouth. Now, of course, the show went on, but there was an awful lot going on behind the scenes. 10 on your side's Carrie Matson takes a look.
We're both, my photographer John Bell and I are both concentrating, trying to stand still.
You know what was happening to our crews in the field, but meanwhile, back at the ranch, 300 Wavy Street was surrounded.
This entire area was our parking lot. Anybody at home now can see the water coming through. We sit on Wavy Street, which is near Port Center Parkway here in Portsmouth.
At one point, it was pretty clear that the rising water outside may not stay there.
Our studio is located very close to the Elizabeth River. People are madly lifting stuff up off the floor, moving things to the second floor. At some point, it may become necessary for us to leave this building, but we're going to continue to broadcast.
That's right. We had a plan B.
We are here as an emergency precaution. Should things happen over at our main studios where you guys are, should the power go out, or should there be some severe flooding where everyone has to evacuate the building, we will continue to be here on the air.
And even a plan C.
The ultimate fallback position is in the driver area of Suffolk, where our transmitter is located. David Nelson, you're our last line of defense, and we've finally gotten a live report from you out there. Now, you look nice and dry.
Yeah, I do.
I am Plan C, and when you're Plan C, you stay dry.
Good for you.
Guys, this is the part of WAVY-TV that most of us never see.
But some things we couldn't plan for, like this gentleman's car getting swept off its tires right in front of our studio. That's our general manager, Ed Munson, dressed like the Gorton's fisherman. The not-so-dressed gentleman, that's our assignments editor, Jeff Becker. Now, the gentleman in the car, well, he was just grateful his mishap occurred right in front of 10 on your side headquarters.
I'm looking at the 5 o'clock. Okay.
He's only going to have 10 seconds.
Take it.
All right, Don, thanks very much. Joining us now, one of the members of our phone bank.
With every passing moment, we knew thousands of viewers were losing power, no longer able to watch television. But those folks without a battery-powered set could still hear us on the radio.
You can hear our coverage on several different radio stations throughout the area via battery power. WNOR FM 99 and WAFX, the Fox. You can catch all of the information on those radio stations.
And our audience wasn't just listening to the programming. They were talking to our volunteers. We were on the air, and they were on the phones day and night.
You're welcome. Bye.
The show went on Thursday and into Friday. As long as there was information to get out, we were going to give it to you, even in the middle of a very long night.
If you want to report an outage or have some questions about your service, the number at Virginia Power to call is 1-888-667-3000. By dawn, as Chopper 10 took a first look at the aftermath, we knew almost everyone was without power. And just when we were beginning to wonder if anyone out there was listening...
Somebody happy to be alive this morning?
He's got his video camera in his hand, it looks like, too.
I
survived Isabel!
Either that or his life dream has been to be spotted by Chopper 10.
He's happy. Looking along south.
He's got a radio. I don't know if he can hear us.
How you doing?
He can. He lifted his radio up. I think he's listening right now.
You may see a lunatic on the beach. We see the reason we do what we do, leaving our own homes, our own families, doing whatever it takes to stay on the air and on your side. And here at WAVY-TV 10, we know there's nothing funny about the death and devastation that Hurricane Isabel left behind.
Our studios, many employees and their families, friends and neighborhoods were directly affected by the storm. Now, we still have a lot of images from Isabel to share with you tonight, but you know, there's only so much stress and sadness our communities can handle, and that's why we want to lighten it up a bit for a few minutes.
Well, here's a look at Hurricane Isabel wavy style. That's right, the stuff we normally don't want you to see.
Seeing a lot of debris washing up now in the waters, and it said, look out, look out, look out, look out.
Lowell Melzer reporting from Nags Head. That was, I mean, that's what they're going through. I mean, that's what you go through. You get in there, and Lowell's doing a wonderful job for us out there in Nags Head. That's what you're trying to do. It was horrible. I mean, it's tough to cover.
The winds and the rain at this point, live television, but the winds out here are pretty bad. We're going to send it back to you.
I'm Andy Fox at the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse, the only local reporter on the ground. I will give you the exclusive details on a story you will only see on Wavy News 10 coming up at 5, 5:30, and 6, PAX 10 and 11.
We see more local people. I imagine that they're local down here at the oceanfront. They have some sort of device. I think that's a milk jug. They're looking through a milk jug.
Actually, I think they're videotaping. They've just kind of got their video camera covered.
Oh,
some type of plastic.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
But it looks like a milk jug.
Okay, wave at the camera. Look, Mom, I'm stupid.
Details remain sketchy today on a powerful tropical storm. Excuse me, I'm just being told that it is a hurricane. Hurricane-strength winds. I am the only local reporter standing in front of the lighthouse. It could fall.
I realize I could die, but if it's by God's great, goodwill, let me go. How old are you? 18. God wants you to go home, Adam.
Well, you provided us a little bit of a bright spot this morning. We're putting together your next personal lad, okay? He enjoys long walks on the beach. Favorite color is yellow.
And I think I'm about to get hit by sea spray over here because it is, as I said, all the way up. Yeah, and it doesn't taste good either.
I want to take just a minute to honor those reporters who felt they had to stand outside during Hurricane Isabel. And we put together a little tribute for them.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man?
Smart buyers, this is it. Buick Closeout 2003. How about a great new LeSabre? A Consumer's Digest Best Buy, delivering nearly 30 miles per gallon highway. Now get almost $4,000 total cash back on Buick LeSabre models equipped with the luxury of leather-appointed seating. You talk about a smart time to buy, this is it. Get into your Hampton Roads Buick dealer.
Oh. Yeah. Do me a favor, can you... Wow.
Men.
At McDonald's, we've got what guys want.
Like our delicious McPhilly cheesesteak sandwich with a big ol' icy cold Coke and big ol' fries. McPhilly cheesesteak extra value meal. Come on, guys, smile.
September is clearance month at your Dodge dealers. It's your chance to make 0 down payment, 0 payments for 6 months, and get 0% APR financing or cash allowances up to $5,250, which includes $750 for military personnel. Plus, get Dodge's 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. 0 in on all the savings during September clearance month, now through September 30th. See your Dodge dealer for the best values in America.
Get all the information you need on Hurricane Isabel from WAVY.com.